When teenagers Mike and Debbie see a comet crash outside their sleepy small town, they investigate and discover a pack of murderous aliens who look very much like circus clowns. They try to warn the local authorities, but everyone assumes their story is a prank. Meanwhile, the clowns set about harvesting and eating as many people as they can. It's not until they kidnap Debbie that Mike decides it's up to him to stop the clowns' bloody rampage. What's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you another horror movie review. This time we're talking about, yes, Killer Klowns from Outer Space, which came out in 1988 and really is sort of a cult horror film. You know, it's one of the more popular ones out there, if it's like. I don't know if I'd compare it to Toxic Avenger necessarily. It's a different type of thing than that, but you know, just one of those horror movies that kind of has a cult following. It doesn't take itself very seriously at all. And unlike Toxic Avenger, which I didn't even do a video on, I actually enjoyed this one. I've been meaning to see Killer Klowns from Outer Space for quite some time. I was planning on ordering the Blu-ray just because I know I'd probably like it enough. But behold, it is now available on Amazon Prime, so I watched it there. And yeah, definitely a solid, enjoyable, you know, sort of a comedic horror flick. I can see why it has the following it has, and I can see myself probably even liking it more than I do if I kind of grew up and, you know, like seeing it in theaters when it came out or something. I imagine that was a pretty cool experience. Now it is a very low budget film. I forget how much exactly it had. Yeah, $2 million, which is, you know, like nothing nowadays. They, from what I've seen, or from what I read, they basically spent a lot of their budget on sort of like the effects and, you know, production costs and stuff like that. And then they sort of, I don't know if I want to say improvise with the clowns, but they sort of use more sort of, I don't know, condensed means to create them and their look. Me, myself, I will put a bit more money into how the clowns look, but overall, for the most part, the clowns do look good in the movie. Some of them, you know, are sort of more memorable than others. Some of them sort of stick out, particularly this, you know, fat one right here. And then you also have like that taller one in the back with the spiky red hair, and then again, sort of that shorter green one with the yellow at the front there. But yeah, they're pretty cool to watch. I mean, there's a lot of you know, sort of fun sequences in the movie, and the teenagers, the human characters, in the best way. Oh yeah, in a pretty good way. They're like the dumbest, you know, kind of most stereotypical trope type of people you could see in this, you know, sort of you know, 50s or whenever it took place, or 80s, whenever it was, I don't know, type of horror movie. Like there's this old man and his dog, you know, he has a big accent, then, you know, just the teenagers and like the 20-some-year-olds or whatever, they're all kind of clueless and naive, optimistic, things like that, just kind of thinking about their hormones and, you know, their own plans and everything. And of course you have the bitter old, you know, sheriff's deputy or whatever that's just denying everything, and he thinks the whole town's out to get him, and he doesn't believe anything that he's hearing, even if the whole town calls him about it. I don't know, I don't want to say there's a love triangle, but you have our main character, Grant Kramer, who I actually liked quite a bit in the movie. You have Debbie, then you have John Allen Nelson as Dave. He's another one of the cops, and we know that he used to date Debbie in the movie, so there's a bit of a tenseness, a slight sort of uneasiness between him and Mike in the movie, but, you know, it's not really, you know, focused on too much. I ended up liking Dave quite a bit as well. He's the first one to actually, you know, give him a chance and show him what's going on, and some of like the antics and what him and Mike go through when they're on their own together, when Mike's trying to show him you know, like the alien ship and stuff like that. It's one of the funnier moments of the movie. And of course eventually I have like this King Kong type of, you know, clown on the ship and everything like that, which is kind of cool. And the only way you can end up killing these things is, you know, by shooting or, you know, destroying their nose somehow. You know, which I found to be a little bit of an easy way out sometimes, but, you know, it is what it is. It's, you know, played to comedic effect like pretty much everything else in this movie. The ending is also kind of bleak as well. I mean, the I'm guessing most of you guys have seen Killer Klowns from Outer Space at this point, but if you haven't, just kind of skip like 45 seconds from now. But basically, when they escape and destroy the ship, Mike and Dave make it out, luckily. But then you see that the pies fly at them, and then we see what happens to that later in the movie. It dissolves, kind of like acid if they're touched with it eventually. Like this guard is just buried with them earlier in the movie, which is kind of fun as well. But yes, I kind of like that ending. I think it was a unique choice, especially for the type of time period it was for horror movies. But it kind of fits with the bizarre, feel of the whole film to have an ending like that. But yeah, so overall, I did really have a good time with this movie. I don't know if I'd say I love it, but I definitely really liked it. There isn't a particular moment that necessarily sticks out to me, like, oh, that was an unforgettable, horror scene or something. There's no moment like that, but the whole thing's just, pretty consistent with its entertainment value, I think. It's kind of like it doesn't necessarily go up here at any point, but it's kind of like, it's kind of like that, and it's pretty good. And I don't really have too many complaints about it. All the actors embrace, sort of the campiness of the film, and the style of it, the music and everything that works. So yeah, overall, if I had to rate Killer Klowns from Outer Space, I'd give it about a B or an 85%, right there, smack dab solid. And so some of the effects are dated and stuff like that, but it kind of just fits with the movie's own charm. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this one. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe. And apparently, I know Sci-Fi was trying to do a series or another movie out of this or something. I know Shudder just got the rights to Critters or whatever, which I still have to watch. So we'll see how that all turns out. But for now, what do you guys think of the original Killer Klowns from Outer Space? I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.